Brother, Mr. Nero, sent your Cobra 148 GTL in and your Texas Star Mod V. Make sure the dead key's okay on the amp and the radio. Bring the amp back to life. Do a dead key variable on the 148, which we done all that. Got you set up, bud. Alrighty. All that other stuff, I started writing somebody else's stuff on there, so yeah, cover all that up so nobody will see your information. Alright, man, so we got your dead key variable, which is on the SWR knob, which is right here, okay? We'll go ahead and demonstrate that now. We're using your microphone, and I want to tell you, man, I like the way you put this this little plastic, I don't know what you call it, a foot or something on this. I like that, man. It's pretty neat. So right now we're on the 10-watt slug, and see I got you turned at 1 watt dead key. Okay, bottom scale is 100. That's 1,000 watt. We're on the 10-watt slug, so that 100 is 10 watts. Doing that about 4.5 watts RMS. Okay, let me demonstrate the dead key variable. I'm gonna try to do this with one hand while holding the mic. All the way down to nothing. 1 watt, 2 watt, 3 watt, 4. Had a phone call, sorry about that. 5 watts. Let me get this holding like I had it. That's about what it goes to. Turn it to 4 watts. Oh, yeah. Oh, it'll swing about 5, you know, but I say the 1 watt and 2 watts right where you probably want it. We'll turn it down to about, let's put it on 2 watts. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and turn the Texas Star on. We're going to have it on 14.5 volts. Okay. Just to give you an overrun real quick, man, the variable that was in here was not the right variable. Okay, so we went ahead and put 100 ohm, which is what it calls for. Somebody had a big 250 ohm variable in there. Okay. The 150 over here was blown. Well, it wasn't blown, it was very charred, getting very hot. We went ahead and put a 5 watt in there. Somebody else added this 1000 cap for a delay for sideband. Somebody has replaced the relay in this amp, okay? They didn't have a top on it, so I went ahead and got me a top and put this top on there for you. It's always good to have a top on there, try to keep dust, you know, all that good stuff, if you can. So I could tell somebody had put that in there, and it looked like they had attempted to do it without taking the board out, which wasn't too smart. It's always good to take the board out and put it back in there. So it's kind of hiked up, but you know, it seems to be working just fine. I had to redo the input tune on this, okay, because it had about 1.5 watts of input reflect, and it tuned out kind of low, but sometimes they do. It tuned out to right there about 30 picofarad. So sometimes they do, sometimes they're up around 60, 68 for these amps. Let's see, I think that's about all I had to do. I cleaned it up for you, man, got all the flux out for you. Give a fresh washing to her. And I think that's about it, man. That's why she was on her butt there, man, because the input tune was completely wrong. And this cap was charred, and I think the variable was blown as well at 250. I cannot see. I've done about 6 repairs since this one. I kind of done them all in a row over a period of 2 or 3 days, and this one was the first one. So the other ones got kind of piled up on top. The next one was a 500, or maybe the 500 was first. This one was next, I think it was. So I can't remember, but there was something up, I think, with that variable that was causing you not to get any power out. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and switch over to the 25 watt slug, and we also can show your PEP of your radio with that. I don't have a slug that's smaller. Okay, so this is your PEP of the radio. 250 watt slug. So we're looking at the very top scale. That 5 is 50 watts. In between that is 25. That's where we're going to be looking at. We're on the PEP, okay? Ooh, so that's about 20 watts, okay? Ooh, yeah, 20 watts. The modulation is real good. I adjusted your pot in there for the modulation and did the Dead Key variable, and that's all I did with your radio, bud. That's all it needed. All right, we'll go ahead and put it on RMS. We're going to kick the mod V on, turn the variable all the way up. That's a new knob too. They had another knob on there, so I got you a fresh new knob on there, along with the variable. This variable right here is not brand new. It came off a unit that I did a conversion with. So it is new. It was a new amp I did a conversion with, so it's new. And that tab right there was soldered because of the CW transmitter inside. So the CW transmitter is soldered to that. So that is a new pot, okay? I'm just going to point that out. Alright. 250 watt slug. RMS on the Mod V. Oh, yeah. That 5 is 50 watts, okay? So that's about 55 watts RMS. Oh, yeah, looking really good. All right, here's your PEP. Oh, right there, about 125 watts PEP, brother. We'll turn the volts up just for the fun of it, see what happens. Right there, about 15.5 volts, getting about 150 watts. Take a look at the RMS again since we turned the volts up. Oh yeah, oh yeah, almost 75 watts, and that is that is phenomenal for this amplifier. And I do want to point out that there is a 2879 in this box. You know what? Now that I remember that. So I just looked down because I was sitting there thinking, no, a 2290 wouldn't be doing that much power. That's why this input needed to be retuned, okay? You can't just slap a 2879 in a Mod V and say, let's roll. It needs to be retuned, okay? Because a 2879 is a little bit different on the input. Well, the input impedance is pretty much right there the same, but they don't tune out exactly the same. A 2290 and a 2879 does. So the output and the input needed to be retuned, okay? The output was fine, okay? I left that alone, but the input did need to be retuned. And once I done that, this thing came to life. It's hard to see right there at 70 watts RMS out of a one pill. So that's rocking and rolling, brother. That's very good output. You're normally going to see around 40 to 50 RMS out of this amplifier. So this thing is doing real well. I want to point that out. Very well. That's right there pretty much about 70 watts RMS on 15 volts. 15.5 volts. Real good, man. Alright, man, I appreciate your patience, man. I know you had to wait a little while for this, so I'm going to be giving you a discount on the price, no doubt. Just what we talked about, my friend. Thanks for your patience. Old Gatekeeper, Northeast in the Georgia. We good and gone. Bye-bye. God bless.